Well, good day, everyone. We're here at Calvary Cemetery, a Roman Catholic cemetery managed by the Archdiocese of Los Angeles. It's also called the New Calvary Cemetery because many decades ago it moved from downtown on Broadway Avenue, very, very close to modern Dodger Stadium. That's where it originally was. There's a high school built over that site now. And the cemetery moved over here to East Los Angeles quite a few decades ago. In the distance, I think you can see it, the main mausoleum is over there. We passed it on the way in. It was originally designed by architect Ross Montgomery. The main mausoleum has quite a few famous people in it, and there's other famous people scattered throughout the grounds here. Buried here is Etta McDaniel. She was a famous actress. She appeared in over 60 films. She was a sister of Hattie McDaniel. You may remember Hattie. Hattie's not buried here, but she was Mammy. She played the part of Mammy on Gone with the Wind. And her sister Etta was a very prolific actress too. There's Harry Sinclair. Harry Sinclair was the founder of Sinclair Oil. He's buried here on these grounds. There's at least two crime persons, high-level criminals. They were bosses of the Los Angeles crime family. There's Jack Dragna, and there's Rosario de Simone. There's a third guy too. I don't remember his name, but they're buried here. As Al Capone was to Chicago, so during the same time period, Jack Dragna and Rosario de Simone were to Los Angeles. They ran the Sicilian mob out here. You may recognize the name of Barrymore, John Barrymore and Lionel. They were brothers. They were famous actors. John Barrymore played the original part of Dracula. He was also a stage actor. His brother Lionel was a stage actor. Lionel played the part of Ebenezer Scrooge. You probably recognize Lionel Barrymore also from It's a Wonderful Life. He's the one who played Mr. Potter. There's Lino LaBianca, who was one of the victims of the Tate LaBianca murders by Charles Manson's people. There's Lou Costello of Abbott and Costello. He's buried here. And there's Ted Healy. Ted Healy's the one who organized and founded the Three Stooges. Their act was originally called Ted Healy and the Three Stooges. He's buried here. But the two people we're going to talk about today are the parents of a very famous president. I'm talking about John Edward Reagan. He's Ronald Reagan's father. John was born July 13th, 1883. Ronald, his son, was born in 1911. At the time of Ronald's birth, Jack, the old man, John, they call him Jack, he was working at a store in Tampico, Illinois. He went on to work as a traveling salesman. So they moved around a lot because his jurisdiction would change a lot, so he'd go wherever there was work. Wasn't exactly the most stable of situations for children growing up, but John did what he had to do to earn a buck. John was a populist Democrat. He supported such noble causes as support for the working poor, trust busting, that is breaking up of monopolies, child labor laws. He supported a minimum wage, which was a big thing at the time. He was also strongly opposed to the Ku Klux Klan because of his Catholic faith, and he was opposed to anti-Semitism and anti-black racism. He was a member of the Knights of Columbus. John, however, had a problem: alcohol. Alcohol is the demon that can destroy the most noble of men and women. I've had clients that died of alcoholism. I worked in mental health and other areas for some 30 years, and I've seen it. I mean, folks, don't drink. Please don't drink. In fact, one day, young Ronald Reagan was about 11 years old. He came home from a Boy Scout meeting, and he found his father laying on the front yard. It was wintertime. It was snow. It was really cold. The old man, John, was stretched out on the lawn, passed out, drunk with whiskey. Now, what was young Ronnie supposed to do? Well, he managed somehow to drag his father into the house and get him to bed, and probably saved his life. Which could have been the reason why Ronald Reagan, when he was governor of California, signed into law the Wedworth-Townsend Paramedic Act, which was the first paramedic program in the United States. He signed that into law in 1970. Ronald, as we all know, went on to become a wonderful American president. Sorry if any of you are anti-Reagan. I'm not, but I really loved Ronald Reagan. But yeah, his father struggled with alcoholism. His father died at 57 years of age after a series of heart attacks, which was sad and unfortunate. But he did. The reason they're buried here, John was Roman Catholic. His wife Nellie was not, and that's the reason why they're buried here in a Catholic cemetery. His wife is right over here by his side, Nellie Wilson Reagan. She met Jack Reagan in Illinois. They were married in 1904. They had 2 children only. They had Neil Reagan. They nicknamed him Moon. He was nicknamed after some comic book character. And of course, Ronald Reagan was the younger of the 2 boys. She was advised not to have children after that for some medical reason. I'm not clear what it was. She was a member of the Disciples of Christ Church. She wasn't Catholic at all, but as I say, that's why they're buried here, is in this Catholic cemeteries, because he was Catholic. She had a strong commitment to the church. She used to do the Bible readings in the congregation. She would lead Sunday school services. She believed in the power of prayer. So, see, Ronald Reagan and his brother Neil grew up with a strong sense of faith. In 1938, Ronald Reagan moved to California, and his parents came with him, and he bought them a home in Hollywood. They had never owned a home before. But thanks to Ronald Reagan, they had their house. Unfortunately, John died in 1941, 57 years of age. His mother died in 1962. She lived until 79. She had Alzheimer's disease, which I think 79 is a bit young to have Alzheimer's, but she did. She also had, she had struggles with her health after that. She worked until, just years before she died. She was also involved in working in a tuberculosis sanitarium. So she did some noble things in her life. So she, here they are. Now, Ronald Reagan has, as you know, he's buried at the Presidential Library up in northern LA County, but his parents are here underneath a tree. They're very, very, very inconspicuous. But these are the 2 people that gave us a very strong and determined president, one who became an important world leader. So thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Reagan, for your contribution to the American society and the nation of America by giving us such a good president. So here they rest. I hope that they were both right with God when they died. And Neil, Ronnie's brother, he's not here. He's buried in some other state. But anyway, rest in peace to you both.